Hi, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. We're lucky enough to have found a new data friend to join us today on the podcast, nice and early. He's feeling awake and ready to go. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
What do you mean nice and early? It's 2:30.
No.
Not-
We're in freedom time. Oh man, yeah. So, thank you for having me on. I'm Jonathan Stewart, also known as Sequel Locks for obviously obvious reasons, right? And a little bit about myself. I am obviously an Eagles fan, and I am ecstatic, and I will be ecstatic for the next at least 10 days, right?
Okay.
So,
I thought you were going to say 51 weeks, but okay.
well, I mean, like that's the season starts then, and stuff can go on and stuff too. But for now, we're Super Bowl champions. Woohoo! Right. So,
Perfect.
but
I wouldn't have guessed that from the picture or the
no,
shirt.
right. Like I didn't know if it was obvious. So, nothing says Eagles in here. So,
It sits right on your
Oh,
chest.
that's an eagle. I thought that was a hawk. Now I'm confused.
oh man. Yeah. What was the question?
Who are you?
Who am I? Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I am Jonathan Stewart. I am Sequelax. I am a what do I do? Yeah, I am a cloud data and AI architect. Focused on Fabric right now. Um, been in data for a long time. Been in IT for even longer. So when I say longer, I wrote my first program probably 40 years ago.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, on a TRS 80. I don't know if you guys had Radio Shack, but a Radio Shack TRS 80 uh, in BASIC, and it was a train that went around the screen and changed
Oh, you
colors.
had me at basic.
Ben is in.
Yeah, that's
I know what Radio Shack is. We didn't have them here, but I'm aware of the concept. I have no idea what that specific model or whatever was, but you had me
Yeah.
at basic, so we're good.
They used to call it the Trash 80, but yeah, that was my first computer.
Nice. Well, since you've been in data for a while, this next question might be tricky to narrow down. But what's your favorite data thing?
Favorite data thing? Well, I got quite a few of them. I guess what truly brings me elation, right, would be a very, very well done data model. It's so
Okay.
nerdy, right? But a well done data model, right? A well done Kimball data model is great, right? Because it makes everything else better and stuff too. But I guess a nice third normal form model is nice as well. But because I'm more in analytics, we'll go with the data warehouse version. So we'll go with the Kimball model.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. It got very specific with the data model and then even more specific with the Kimball data model. So
Yeah.
It
Which
did.
you had Ben worried to start with when you said, well, it could be many things. And he was waiting for a list. And then you went
it could be
straight
many
to the
things. And he
point.
was like, well, it's a data. I was like, oh, he's going to talk about data vault. This will be interesting. So, but no.
Perfect.
He took the turn on Kimball Avenue. So good
I did.
call.
I did. Well, Microsoft did. So I just had to, I got a Microsoft tattoo supposedly somewhere. So, or I have like an autographed Microsoft like jersey somewhere, with like, yeah. Because we've all sold ourselves, you guys as well, MVPs, sold your soul to Microsoft. So, we all just rock that Microsoft tattoo. So,
Wait, at MVP Summit, do we get Microsoft tattoos?
I'm not an
No.
MVP, so I don't know.
Yes.
Ben?
No. So those are not officially offered and or
Uh,
sponsored by the Microsoft Corporation, but actually I know of a couple of people that plan to get new tattoos while there. So
You
the
should
answer
ask
is
Ree if you should talk to Ree about that being a new benefit and say, hey, that's an interesting brand, literally, right? And so
yeah.
like, hey, you get MVP tattooed on your arm or something, and
Just want like the Azure A.
right,
Cool.
right. I'm gonna get the fabric. So my joke about the
There
fabric
you go.
logo is that it looks like the Frontier Airlines logo. So
Yeah.
you can get both. You can get one and be like, try to fly for free with Frontier, and be like, no, it's a Frontier logo. So
what would happen to that
Perfect.
MVP logo on my upper left arm, since we're all very specific here today, once I'm no longer being re-awarded as an MVP? Do I have to cut off my arm? Do I have to tat something over there? What's the rule?
Tack something over it.
I think what you could do is you just have marks like every time you get one, like in
Yeah.
NFL when they're captains they get stars for every year. Just get a star for every year you're MVP, and then so
We
even
just get like a cross through it.
Yeah, so you just have all your stars under MVP and stuff too, so people still know, right? Because
Mhm.
it's just like in sports, right? Once you're an All Pro or All Star, you don't have to be one current. You're still an All Star, right? Oh, they are right. 5-time MVP, 5-time All Star,
Mhm.
right? It's not current. It's just you are what you are, right? So
It's
think of
true.
it that way.
Yeah, I'm probably still gonna pass, but
We'll think about it. We got time.
Yeah.
Couple
So
of years.
somebody's watching this is like, that's a great idea. They're gonna get a tattoo. So let me know when you go to MVP Summit who has the new tattoo, right? Because that
Oh,
was
we
if you're
can't.
getting an
What
MVP
happens?
tattoo in Seattle, put it in the comments.
No, we can't. What happens at MVP Summit stays at MVP Summit.
I'm not sure that is actually true.
Oh,
And I'm not talking about the NDA breaches here. I mean, then this is technically happening outside of the summit. People
okay.
could still post that to the comments.
yeah, but so maybe it doesn't. Maybe they have a tattoo artist at the summit.
On
So
site.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
And again,
Breakfast burrito and a quick tat. I'm in.
I mean, they have something new every year, so who knows what's up there this year?
Mm. Watch this space.
I'm really hoping more for a T-shirt than a tattoo because a tattoo still sounds very permanent to me. But I'll see what they
You'll
have,
get
then
over
I'll
that.
take
It's
it.
fine. We'll get you a couple beers. It'll be okay.
Beers,
Famous last
beers,
words.
beers, tats, and t-shirts. That's a whole nother tech conference. Beers, tats, and
Yeah, I
t-shirts.
think so too.
It just works. Beers, tats. Are you going to BTT? Right. And if we want to put like
Love
a
it.
sequel in front of it, sequel BTT, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think we're on to something.
Right. Redgate.
Looking for sponsors.
right.
Hit us up. I was at a
That
CrossFit
escalated so
competition a
quickly.
couple of weeks ago. My wife was competing, and at the competition, they had a walk-up tattoo stand, and that place was full the entire weekend with people getting tattoos.
Oh, they were real tattoos.
They were real tattoos. Yep,
Did you get one?
I did not get one.
Do you do CrossFit too?
I do, but not as well.
I remember I did CrossFit for a little bit after 'cause I played American football for 20
Mhm.
years, and so then I was like, I want to do something competitive. So they said, no, you should try this CrossFit. And I was like, oh, I can do that and stuff too. And I got there and I was like, wait,
Yep.
it's a lot of running though. I thought it was like crazy lifting. They're like, it's lifting too, but there's running with it. We combined it. I was like, yeah, this is probably not for me.
What did you
Yeah,
think the cross stands for?
just anger.
Ah, I see.
This is basically the same way I got into CrossFit. I played soccer, football, English football, and
Upper
then stopped
football.
playing and needed to do something competitive. So yeah, found
Yeah.
it as a
Now,
way of filling the gap. So
now I got a Peloton and some gym equipment in a room, and that's enough.
nice, good enough, very cool.
So now I lift Kimball models.
Ah,
Nice.
perfect. From weights to data models.
right.
Indeed.
It's a natural progression, right? Doesn't everybody do that?
Yeah, I think so. We're all on the way.
Sure. Before this escalates any further, not that I'm specifically, but let's just, Jonathan, if you're not pulling data models and luring people into getting tattooed at events that don't even have a tattoo parlor, etc., if
So
none of
negative.
these things are happening, what's your favorite non-data thing to do?
So I'm a scuba diver. I
Again?
Amazing.
I scuba dive, and that's so my financial planner is like, you gotta stop scuba diving. This is taking you could have way more money in your savings if it wasn't for scuba diving. It's my zen space actually. So funny story about that is that actually there's a place here where it's a dive pool where you can practice with your equipment and stuff like that, and they do training obviously and stuff as well there. So it's probably let me put it in real units instead of freedom units. It's probably about 8 meters deep at the very for the American audience. It's about 20-ish feet, something like that. So 7-8 meters, 20-ish, right? So but what I do is I'll go in and I'll get like a tank of air, and I'll go and I have what's called wet notes, and I'll actually sit down underwater for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and work. I just work underwater. It's I guess it's kind of an idea of like like the whole what's it, the sensory deprivation chamber, obviously, but I'm
Mhm.
but just sitting there floating and working and stuff too is like my zen space. And so like when I'm actually in the ocean and stuff too, looking at reefs or shipwrecks and stuff like that is extremely calming. I'm a huge fan of World War II history, World War II naval history. So I love World War II shipwrecks. So I've dived quite a few World War II shipwrecks, from U.S. aircraft carriers to German U-boats. It's amazing to see history just preserved underwater.
That's super cool.
Mhm.
We our previous guest was also a scuba diving fan. We've had no scuba, well, no, one other scuba diver for the first 98 episodes, and then the last two, both scuba divers.
Yep.
Oh, nice,
Super cool.
nice.
But funny enough, all three approaching it from three very different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Like April, who does tech diving. I mean, everybody knows what tech diving is, I guess, especially after the last episode. Not that I
I'm
have
actually a
no
tech
clue.
diver, so that's funny you mentioned it. I am a tech diver. I have a rebreather, and I can go to 100 meters. Yeah.
Okay, that's what we were just learning about, was rebreathing.
Mhm.
No. We knew that all the time, Jess, right?
Oh, right.
Right? Because
Right.
everybody knows.
No, this is an educational show, man. We are bettering
True
ourselves in
story.
all
I mean,
kinds
so
of places.
if I get invited back, I can just come back on next time with the rebreather on, and just we can just have
That
a
would be that would make great audio too.
conversation.
True story.
You
However, you will
my
not
face
you will
with all
not get invited back, so we can get that out of the way.
the.
Not because of anything you've said. It's just the concept. It's nothing personal. Nobody.
Hey, no, it's cool.
Right?
Like, we
It's
already made
that.
that friend. We don't need to make that friend again.
However, we're going to do that big reunion show at some point.
Ah,
That might be something. We're just going to have you sit in a tank behind the big band and the sports team and what else we had. It'll be good. It'll be fun.
So you both should try scuba diving one day.
I tried. It wasn't for me. I snorkel. I enjoy that.
Mhm.
I can totally relate to what you're saying. This is kind of my Zen thingy. So just sitting there, floating, looking at fish. Nice. Scuba diving. I tried it actually 2 or 3 times, and every single time, I got like bad headaches and everything from it. It was like
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
it,
it's there's a physiology type of thing too, where it's not everybody can't do it,
yeah.
right? And so that
I'm
I hate.
apparently one of those people. So
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because it's like I said, for me, it's my Zen space. So
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's on my list of things I need to try. Like Ben, I've done snorkeling and loved it. I've just never tried it.
that's actually how I got into it. I went snorkeling on the Mesoamerican Reef in Mexico, and I was like, this is amazing. You know, obviously you could see down to the reef and everything, and then there
Mm-hmm.
was these little people with these tanks on their back, and I was like, I want to go deeper, right? And so eventually I learned scuba diving, and that was the start of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's super cool.
500 dives later.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So like
Well,
I'm sitting in my office. There's a dry suit like right in front of me because it's like literally like my whole like literally like there's a dry suit and undergarments for cold water because I dive in water that's like 1 degree or 32, 33 for people who use freedom units. So
it's good translations today. I like it.
yeah. I mean, so what's funny is that I understand the metric system because of scuba diving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool.
well,
Nice. Well,
I would also say and add to that that understanding the metric system doesn't actually take a lot because it is very straightforward.
It is. It actually is. What's funny is that it just makes sense. Like one atmosphere is just 10 meters, right? Versus if you do it in freedom units, it's 30 feet. Then you got to do other math and PSI to this, whereas as bar and meters and atmosphere is just straightforward 10 base.
yeah, the thing that always got me was
That makes
freezing
sense.
being 32. Like that makes zero sense to me. But
Is
hey,
it 32
all
degrees?
this
No, it's
is
14
it.
degrees here. 14. So
Oh,
it's like
or,
-7 or something.
yeah, not ideal. Well, all that scuba diving probably makes you super hungry, which leads us on to our final question of the podcast. What's your favorite food?
So my favorite real food would be like a good steak.
Okay.
My favorite non-good food. So obviously you both been in the U.S. many times. Have you had Taco Bell?
Oh yeah.
So it's a joke here that it's like people say like it's not real meat. It's not, I don't care. It's good. So like out of
Good
all
party pack to go.
right, so out of all the food I can eat, like White Castle and Taco Bell, people are like, what? Are you serious? Yes, yes, yes. So that and then generic jelly beans, not jelly
Okay.
bellies, not
Hmm.
Starburst. No, generic Like literally, you go to like a gas station and there's a pack of small pack, and then it's just generic with the syrup running down the side. That can't beat a great jelly bean.
I will say I tried White Castle when I lived in America, and I did not get on board that. Taco Bell, I'm in. I can do that. White Castle was a weird one for me. that did nothing for me.
Have you had White
I've
Castle,
never
man?
been to either.
Really?
He's vegetarian, so you probably would avoid it. But
They have a Impossible Burger, so you
do
can.
they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Still, I've never been to either, and
Well, next time you're in Columbus, Ben, I'll take you to White Castle. How about that? That'll be like your speaker's gift.
I'm
How
honored.
lucky.
Question mark.
I'll tell
Yeah.
Peter next time too. Like, hey, we got to get Ben back here in the U.S. So, and he said all he needs is a 10-pack of sliders from White Castle.
This is the thing. They come in massive packs of these tiny burgers with like a bit of onions on, right? That's all that's on them.
Well, I get onions, pickles, ketchup, and mustard. Extra everything actually. So yeah.
Having
Okay.
that said, I'm not sure I've ever even seen a I've seen tons of Taco Bells, and I'm just
You'll know because they look like a White Castle on the side of the highway, just like a White Castle.
the only reason I know about White Castle is because of that movie from like 20
Yeah.
years or so
Yeah.
ago.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was a
I
great
love that
movie.
answer.
If anybody watching hasn't seen it, it's a great movie. Gotta check it out.
You can find it in
It's
the show
also
notes.
very educational.
Yes. Yes.
And with that, I'm gonna grab some food and I'm gonna go watch that movie again because apparently that's what I need to do now.
We could actually do a show where we just watch it as a group. Let your audience do a live showing for watching.
There we go.
Yeah, that's like Twitch streaming, which is another concept that I still don't understand. Why would people watch somebody? But again, maybe I'm just getting too old for some of these things.
We would
And
never say that, Ben.
I would say it, and the thing is, I'm fine with it. I can accept that.
Well, I mean, it beats the alternative,
which would be.
I'm not going to say. I'm just saying. You let your mind wander. It definitely beats the alternative.
Anyways, 15 minutes are over and we're going to leave it at that. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us and not insulting me too much on my own show. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we see you all next week with episode 99. Really getting close to that 100. So, see you then. Bye.
Bye, folks.